Previously on Perception Check. Faartroth Forest will only show you what it wants you to see. After a vision of darkness witnessed by Sorrow, the COL entered the forest and didn't find a growing evil presence. They re-entered and met an entity known as Winter. Winter seems to be the evil entity, but is trapped and helpless within the forest, anchored by essence of powerful forbidden magic. Our heroes were shocked to find out Winter had a long history, one that connects to Malbus Smartledore, who wanted to know more about Winter's wayward spell.
Okay, so I just say to Winter. So what was it?
Did you tell him?
He kind of looks off into the trees and goes,
"That's a good question. I think I did. But, obviously the spell I cast was not a very good one. Maybe he found a way to fix it."
But you don't... Winter, you don't remember, or you don't want to tell us?
What do I have to lose if I tell you or don't?
Winter, you're very intelligent.
Well, thank you.
Wording is everything, right?
Indeed.
Spells, conversations. But you didn't answer me. More questions are not answers to others.
and he says,
I have no problem giving you the spell.
and he goes,
But do you really want to end up like me?
No. Certainly not. It's not for my own personal use. You see, your shadow show memory really got me thinking. And I'm always trying to learn everything I can. In the event that something is used against me, or some evil force needs defeating, or someone needs saving, or I don't know. I try my best to learn everything I possibly can in every situation, and try to do that before I have to act.
What was the original goal of the spell? You said it went wrong and you got stuck here, but you were trying to send your soul somewhere, the goal of the spell?
The goal of the spell was to send myself into another plane. There, I could find a way to reconstitute my body or come back and plane shift back into the mortal plane.
Got it. So maybe we should be searching other planes for Smartledore.
Right.
I think we know where Smartledore is.
Would that be the spell would be plane shift?
That would be to return.
Planar binding. Planar binding. Or magic jar or whatever.
I mean, Smartledore knew the spell, but that doesn't mean that he used it.
Well, we have I don't know that, never mind. Wait, do I know that? There's a tree in the secret office?
if you've been in there, you've seen it.
He hasn't been to the secret office.
There you go.
Well, out of character, Garryle, you know that there is a tree in the secret office that is tied to Smartledore.
Yeah.
So that seems like he's tied to this stump. Wouldn't Smartledore be tied to that tree?
It's a
in
good thought.
Somewhat of the same way.
What if Winter looked at the Malbum? Do you think he would be able to let us know if any of that spell were used on the Malbum? Or are those two completely different things going on?
Right. Shoot, I don't know. I mean,
Just as a reminder, Smartledore put all of his memories into the Tree of Knowledge and then made a book from the Tree of Knowledge
yeah.
that captured in those memories and basically built an AI using those memories within the book to be able to assist.
Right. So it's not.
I just then I write in the book
It's not Malbus
what was the spell. If Winter is unwilling or being
Cryptic.
couchy about it.
He goes,
Give me some parchment.
Okay.
Who said that?
Winter?
yeah.
Okay, I was just making sure that the Malbum didn't say
Yeah,
that.
I was gonna say.
Then I leave immediately. Okay, yeah, I give him some parchment.
He writes down the verbal components for a spell. It's nothing that would be in like a D&D spell book because it uses essence. It is something
Sure.
totally new you've never heard of. But you do know that it causes you to basically permanently ground your soul into one location.
Gotcha. So Winter, you said you're a wild magic warlock. Yes?
Well, I was more considered just a warlock. Wild magic, the technical term, is usually assigned to sorcerers. But this magic I was able to control was unlike anything anyone had ever seen. I'm not sure why I had this ability. Sometimes I feel like the magic chose me in some way. It found me, or I found it. I don't know.
And who were your allies,
Hmm.
confidants, people that you looked up to or had contracts with?
Oh, I had no one but servants. A massive army of those who were too afraid to fight me. I will tell you the remnants of what I used to have in terms of a, I don't know how you would say, lair or castle or whatever. I don't know terms nowadays with these kids. But up in the dark mountains,
Which on your map have been named the Shaded Peaks.
that's where I would mostly reside.
You know, Winter, it sounds like, you know, actually give me a second. And this is, sorry, that's role playing. My plan actually is to contact Voke.
Hmm.
So I just excuse me for one moment, and I just head over, here for a moment.
Yeah.
Please enjoy the tea. I don't.
Yeah.
And I repeat it just a
Winter
little bit.
kind of gestures to the tea to Dave, River, and Topher, and is
So
like,
he was able to pick up the
"Please drink."
parchment, but not the tea.
No, the parchment he just kind of like pointed at, and the shadows went onto the parchment and just kind of like formed.
Oh, I see. Okay.
River
I've
then-
been drinking tea.
River moves in and has the tea, but she also touches the stump.
Hmm. Okay.
Ooh.
That's
He blinks at you.
So I'll quote unquote pray in the sense of
Okay.
I don't, because as I've said before, he doesn't follow any gods, but he will follow folk, right?
Are we
Mhm.
getting ready to play some beer pong? Is it?
What?
You gonna play some beer pong?
Oh, that's
Throwback.
That was
Yeah.
for Oyarsa. Remember?
Yeah, the monks, they
The
worship
drunk monk was
Oyarsa, yeah.
That's how
Oyarsa
they parade.
with their Doppelbach
Mm-hmm.
and their steel balls.
Okay,
So I just say, so it's me, Garryle, and I hope you're available.
instantly you hear Vogue Jervis' voice and he goes, "Oh, Garryle, yes. You were give me just 1 second. Tell me everything that's going on and I can help out. What do you need from me?"
Well, okay. So,
Yes,
Sorrow,
Garryle.
Sorrow,
Yes, Garryle, what simple task do you need of me?
well, it's not quite that simple, actually.
Oh,
Do
don't
you,
be foolish, Garryle. There must be a simple task you need from me.
I found. I think I found a way to help Erebus.
That's good. That's great news. Okay, Garryle. Everything's fine now. I just needed enough from you to be able to just kind of loop something. Generally, with prayers, Risen can pop in at any point in time. So if you were to do that,
Right.
I'm now just kind of generating a conversation between me and
Heads
you
up would have been nice
regarding
beforehand,
Erebus.
but thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hey, buddy, I'm here to help.
So, the real thing.
Yeah, what's going on?
Do you know of winter in Faartroth?
It's beautiful that time of year.
Right. So, winter is a person or a
Oh.
thing or a
And
shadow demon being.
Hold on. Are you getting confused with the snow miser?
No, that's pretty good, but no. So do you know of Malbus's adventures into
Is this
Faartroth?
thing on? Because I really enjoyed that joke. And no one reacted.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
I started singing.
Sorry,
this
I
to my-
laughed, but I've been muting myself if I'm not talking.
It was
Same.
dead silence, and I was like, "Damn it! That was such a good joke."
You got crickets, but only because we were all muted.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
Adrian said she
Anyway,
was singing
sorry.
it in her head.
I'm Mr. White Christmas. I'm Mr. Snow.
Exactly.
Anyway, sorry.
That's right.
So yeah, do you know of Malbus's adventures into Faartroth? Have you ever heard of anything like that?
Yeah, I know he's gone in there a few times just because that place is weird as hell.
Yeah, well, it's weird as hell for a reason. The reason is a shadow demon being that used to be a warlock, very powerful, and some would say the stuff of legend and lore. Do you know of an evil that may have died near this area? This is that evil.
You found it?
Well, yeah, we did, and it's very pleasant, actually.
Oh.
I was gonna say throwing out the E word there, Garryle. Pretty rude.
Right, I'm going to, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, they may not know, but River knows that they are anchored here by essence.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like super not good, right?
Yeah.
Which explains why the forest always changes. There's some weird stuff always happening. This being is anchored here permanently. It seems to this stump, tree stump. Everything around here is dead. There's no wildlife. There's this river of ichor. It's not entirely unpleasant, but it is a necrotic or conjured illusion. It's not really the way that it is. It seems as though everything's decaying, dying, but looks to the naked eye normal. I think part of that is essence. This being said, they tried to cast a spell to bind themselves potentially to another plane. I do have. You want to double check that, make sure he's not listening, because the next part is very important.
Oh yeah, no, he's definitely not connected to this.
Should I roll insight on this, or do I know when I speak to Voke that it always is Voke?
You know when you speak to him, it's always him.
Okay. So I have the spell.
Oh.
And Malbus was very interested in this spell, which makes me very interested in this spell, because this being is still here.
Interesting.
This being also used essence. What do we do? I mean,
Um,
we can't fight and try to destroy or interestingly enough, the being Winter has said we're more than welcome to try to defeat him. I think they want to be defeated, but I don't think that they can unless we try to use essence as well, which we all know how that goes. So I'm not telling you to tell me what to do, but apparently Malbus has been able to come back here multiple times.
huh.
And this being, although they say they don't necessarily control this, would have us back if we decided to leave. What's our move here? Reinforcements? I mean, maybe even Risen?
I think it would be foolish to act immediately. I would like to keep Risen at arm's length, especially when Malbus is concerned.
Yes.
I am going to need that spell in some way, which we will come up with some sort of way to for you to get that to me without you speaking it. So I can take a look at it. This is, I'll be honest, quite shocking.
Right. Yeah.
I think as long as it, has he tried to attack you, cast any sort of spell on you? Does he seem like he is holding any sort of power?
Oh, he's got power, but he's not using it. See, he has power over darkness, shadow, memory, perhaps just the whole forest itself, or his immediate area. I'm not sure, but what I do know is that when you come up to next to an intellectual like this, who doesn't immediately try to kill you, they've got some power.
Well, then I would just say to tread carefully. But it sounds like if he's not, throwing out massive fireballs or spending essence like crazy, there probably is no immediate threat there to anything else going on, especially with the wellspring. We don't want him recognizing any sort of essence going on. This is interesting. I'm going to have to think on it. We'll connect and I'll get that spell from you. But let me get back to you.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Oh, thanks, by the way.
Oh, you're very welcome, Garryle.
All right, well, bye.
Bye. Hello, everyone, and thank you for listening. This is Corey, your DM. I am here to tell you about some projects we are involved in and what to look forward to in the future. If you're hearing this, that means you can make a huge impact on our show and how we grow. All I ask is that you jump on your podcast player of choice and drop a review for us. We are excited to be recording again, even though it is virtual and we are sacrificing audio quality, but we just couldn't wait to continue the story. If you enjoy the show, we don't advertise, so word of mouth is crucial for our show to be a success. So tell your friends, visit us at perceptionpod.com, that's perceptionpod, as in podcast.com. Or look for Perception Check Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean, or almost anything out there. If you do have a podcast player that we are not on, you can always send us a message on Facebook, and I can make sure that we get our show on there. Or you can just say hello. In other news, are you looking to relax and have a delicious sip of a cocktail after you get the little ones to bed? Well, our very own Matthew has you covered. Subscribe to Bedtime Bartender on YouTube and get a slew of creative recipes for that perfect drink. Matt has done episodes on the top 10 drinks of 2020, flips, and my personal favorite, BTS-inspired drinks. Having children is not required, but speaking as a parent myself, Man, I could use a drink after bedtime. So check out Bedtime Bartender on YouTube and drink responsibly. Now, back to the show.
I just advocate to everybody and just say like, okay, so Voke says we don't fight him right now. We try to come back. We try to learn and we gotta do something about this spell.
All right.
What does everyone else say? I know that was a lot of me talking. Sorry.
We gotta do something about the spell.
Right. Well, we either need to learn more about it, destroy it, research it. I mean, we need to do something with it. I think it needs to potentially go to the sanctum.
Well, River, you can get us back here now that you've touched some trees around here, right?
I think I can get us back here.
So, Winter, if you wouldn't mind, I think that we'd like to go and see if we can't sort of like reverse engineer this spell and see if we can't be of some assistance to you. I know that Smartledore helped you or tried to help you for quite a while, but now we've got more than one mind on it, and maybe we can come up with something that will work.
He kind of looks in a way that looks kind of nonchalant, like, and he's just kind of like,
Great.
like you can tell there's like he's just being encouraging to you
Okay.
guys. Like he has zero faith that
Yeah.
anything will be fixed.
Well, I get the look, and I hope that we can be of some help. I would imagine that it's fairly awful just sitting here by yourself and not really being able to do much. So
Can I take 20 on an investigation check of the stump itself? Well, like the immediate 5-foot area around the stump, 10-foot area around the stump.
Yeah.
Do I find anything?
You just get the same arcane, like with your Arcana check, you get the same type of thing with the stump and everything else around it.
I'll tell you what I'm looking for. Remnants of anything that isn't shadow, isn't rotting forest. Something original. Something that was there when maybe he passed. Beside, potentially, the stump itself. I don't know what I would need to roll, but...
I'll just tell you, you don't see anything. It looks clean.
Okay.
yeah, I mean, if this was 1,000 years ago, you'd have to dig, 4 or 5 feet around, 10 feet around the stump, if this is even where he died, to be able to get something original. But if he was just trying to anchor himself to a place, he could have died anywhere in this forest and just anchored to a point in it.
I'll ask Winter, just straight out. Are you creating the illusion?
He says,
No. I think it's all just an after effect.
Right. You know this place is dying, right?
Oh, yes.
And what about the stream there? That's not water.
No. The one thing that I can hope for, I guess, if not even for death, is that, like winter, everything will die, but will soon bloom again when we find spring.
Okay. I think I catch your drift.
Can you write in the Malbum? Do you know where spring is?
Oh, that's good. Actually, I will do that.
Hmm.
That's really good. But I think he's referring to something different, Wellspring, but that's still good. I'll write. I found winter. Where is spring?
I think the Malbum probably asks you questions, but as you right in there to kind of clarify what he was saying. The Malbum kind of says, even though 99.9% of hope is gone from Winter, there's that tiny piece that feels like there's still a chance for him to be reborn. And that is the spring he is referencing.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
He's a
and
poet.
I would just say, Garryle, out of character. This is someone who is using essence, but not knowing what it is, which is why he considers it wild magic. I don't know that he would know anything about the wellspring or anything that has to do with anything like that.
I think he does. But I don't want to approach that subject either. And certainly please don't ask him, because I think Evoke just said don't do that.
Well, Dave doesn't know anything about any of that. I was just saying, if he knew what essence was, he wouldn't consider it wild magic.
Yeah, but he said that would be more considered sorcerer, and what I found is something different.
Yes, because he doesn't understand it. He's using essence because he's pulling from something, but he doesn't understand what it is or how to control it, which is why he considers it wild.
Yeah. Does anybody else want to ask questions? I don't want to be the only one talking, which I am right now.
I think that we
don't
should.
You look at me like that.
We
You
should
could
go
have
back.
spoken at any time.
I think that we should go back to the school and do some research and maybe ask some more questions of the Malbum and all of that. But I don't think that there's anything more to be gained staying here.
I think he's a great source of knowledge right now, and it doesn't seem like he's actively doing it, trying to do people harm. He's just kind of,
Yeah.
I mean, he is, by being here, killing things, but that's a much slower evil than what we've been dealing with,
Yeah.
most recently.
I also don't think that the things in the forest are caused by him. They may be slightly corrupted by him, but I don't think that the things that are in the forest that are doing harm to people are a part of what he is.
I think it's a side effect, not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I
I hear
think
you.
so too.
I think that like those ogres were just as much lost in this forest as we were, and were just trying to survive and get back out, which is why they were so freaked out by the water. I mean, if they lived there, they would know what that was and how to deal with it, but they were genuinely scared of an entity that they hadn't seen before and didn't know what to do with. Like, they were just attacking the river as a whole. They didn't understand that it was a water elemental. I think that they were just, more than anything, just passing through.
Winter, what control do you have here?
He holds up his teacup and kind of gestures towards it
Nothing more.
and takes a sip.
So I guess the question is, maybe with this spell you cast and the after effects and things of that nature, is evil attracted here? Is the whole place evil? Is there good anywhere? Are there sources that we could use to help out in any way the scared creatures that are here? For example, we ran into, and I explained the story of the ogres, and obviously we didn't want to do them harm. That's their nature. But what can we do here to help not you now?
Now, in terms of the whole forest, I don't think there was anything necessarily innately evil about what you are in. This section, which I call home, has been tainted, thanks to me. But there were other parts of the forest before me. There were temples. There were great landmarks. There were creatures, some fierce, some tame, some good, some not so good. My death, the consequences of my death, continuously shift the pieces, but the puzzle's the same.
Okay. So I think we're probably going to head out, and I don't want to be rude. We will be back if you'll have us.
I look forward to it, Garryle.
Is there any parting words of advice for us? You said you've helped people along the way find their purpose or what they need or something. I'm not asking for more. I just wonder if there is more.
No, I'm afraid I don't have any wisdom or information to impart upon you besides what I have already told you, but
And thank you.
if I come across anything or hear something from some other travelers, I will be sure to keep you in the loop.
Hey, Winter, on the off chance that we actually do figure this out, and we do come up with a way to fix this, would your preference be to just be rid of this place and pass on to whatever afterlife there is, or would you want to be free of this place and then be able to continue what you were at one point?
He takes another sip of his tea and looks at you, and you feel like this cold chill down your spine. And he says,
Now, I would very much hate to influence your decision if you did come across a breakthrough.
Well, but that's what I'm asking. If given the choice, would you just want to die and free this forest, or would you rather continue on with whatever you were doing? Or, I mean, as someone that has lived for 1,000, however many years, are you over this plane?
he continues looking at you and kind of like sips his tea. He kind of takes you in for a second. And he's like,
Oh, I've thought about what life would hold for me if I was able to break out of this, and what that life would mean for others. And I smile at that thought.
and he kind of spaces out, looking into the trees a little bit. And then he kind of like refocuses his attention on you.
If the only choice is to die, I would feel wonderful being able to finally rest. But if there is an option to live, I would love to meet with all of you outside of this godforsaken forest. Have a cup of tea.
I would enjoy that.
Insight check 21. Is he telling the truth?
Yes,
And I'll
but
say which
you can
part, right?
sense, like, you get the feeling that if he were to be alive again,
You just go right back to being a fuckhead.
yeah, he would be a
Yeah.
force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, I think we all do that. He's too smart. He's biding his time, and he's too powerful to mess with. Okay.
Okay, so can we take a tree back
Yeah.
home?
Well, I mean, I guess I've touched like Smartledore's tree. We can
I
just
can
go back.
teleport us out of here. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
I do that.
Okay.
Why couldn't you just teleport us back in the first place? Why am I molesting trees all over the place?
No. I can teleport us back to
Adrian, you
Hogwarts.
like it, and let's be honest about it. Okay.
I can teleport us back to major ports and Hogwarts. I can't teleport
Anywhere
us
in the world?
in.
You would have access from these teleportation circles in specific locations. That's not like an innate thing you have. You would have to be in one of those locations to go to another, I will say.
I thought
But
Um,
we always have a permanent home at Hogwarts
Yes.
because there's a permanent teleportation
And I
circle
think you
there.
could easily jump back to Hogwarts.
And I definitely
Um,
do. Like, oh, can I retcon something?
Yeah.
With Winter, is there? You said you would be in touch. Is there a way that we can speak, interact, write? How do we stay in touch?
You could send a message spell to someone that you know.
He says,
I'm not sure, but it seems like maybe your tiefling friend can reach out to me.
Okay, yeah, that's of course very smart. Well, thank you again. It's been interesting and lovely. Goodbye.
Hey,
Farewell.
before we leave, can you pathicate Sorrow and see, like, how does she feel about what we've found? And what is she, what was her kind of gut feeling of what we should do about the spreading dark mark or whatever?
I think we'll wait until we come back to Hogwarts. And the only reason why is because she's really freaked out about it, right? And once we get back, I will immediately go directly to her after I've talked to Lazarus and Thala. And
Mhm.
then I'm not going to do all that. Just pretend I did that.
I think with you guys
Well,
nailing
actually,
that, you guys
doesn't-
nailed that 5 to locate the area you were supposed to locate for this mission. You did an amazing job.
I was 100% not expecting
Cap
that
it
in any
here.
way. I had fun. I have a ton of questions, just all off air. Well, not off air, but all later.
Okay. How are you guys feeling about that whole interaction?
Confused.
I think Dave wants to know more about what that spell is, and him talking about wild magic, and like Dave's background is he is a researcher. He's another book nerd. Probably not as much as Garryle, but like that's his background, is like library and like going through books and researching things. So I think he's very interested in if there was someone that was alive 1,000 years ago that killed that many people, there's got to be some sort of information about something that was that impactful on the world.
Some record.
Yeah, there's got to be some record of what that entity was, or what, there's got to be something about it. It can't just have gone by the wayside and no one knows anything about it anymore. So I think Dave is going to dive into some books and see what he can learn about all of that.
Hold on 1 second. Did we ask Winter who killed him?
No.
Corey, does he know?
I will tell you, he doesn't even remember.
Okay.
It was so
I just
long
wondered.
ago.
I wondered if it was important.
It's nothing significant.
Hey, Corey, can I have the big map again?
Yeah, of course.
Unless there was something that you needed in Hogwarts.
You can also access it through handouts, I think. Was there somewhere in particular you wanted to zoom in?
I was trying to find Shaded Peak. Oh, Shaded Peaks. Okay, it's right north of
Right
Faartroth.
north. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think that would be another thing that we would want to investigate is Shaded Peaks, because
That is a location.
his lair slash, research area and all of that was somewhere in Shaded Peaks.
Mm-hmm. Great job role playing. I think that's where we'll kind of end the session tonight, and then you can talk about kind of what you want to do and where you want to go forward
Okay.
off the podcast. But I do have an ending button for this session. Erebus, you are woken up by a clang on your cell bars.
Yes.
Standing outside are 6 guards. A few of them are holding clubs. One of them is holding like a mace. And the lead guard, the one that has talked probably the most shit to you, is staring at you. And he's like, "So, Dragon, I'm thinking it's about time we did something about this." And he reaches down
About
towards
what?
his belt and he takes out a knife. And he's like, "I don't know what your trial is going to hold for you, but I know you do not deserve to be breathing the same air as the people in here. The fact that you are still alive, just waiting for due process, is an insult to the lives you have taken."
Did you know one of them?
I knew many of them.
Oh, I suppose that's unfortunate then.
He reaches down and grabs the cell door, and from the cell behind them, you hear, "I wouldn't touch that door." And the guard turns around and he's like, "Shut up, old man, or you'll meet the pointy end of my friend here as well." And he turns back around and he puts in a key and starts to unlock the cell. And the torches in the dungeon go out.
Oh, shit.
And Erebus, you have dark vision.
Yes, I
Right?
do.
These poor guards do not, as they are looking around in this complete darkness. And as you are inside of your cell looking, as they are looking around, you see within the crowd of them, Jasper. And he is out of his cell, standing in the center. And one of them bumps into him and goes, what the fuck is that?" And goes to swing his club, and Jasper catches it and just bashes the guard in the face, dropping him to the ground. And with swift movement, Jasper moves from person to person,
Did he
taking them down.
Did he fully unlock my door?
No.
Okay.
Like the key is still partially in there. And Jasper knocks down these guards handily. All the guards are on the ground. Jasper kind of stands up and looks towards you. And he reaches up and touches his face and removes his helmet. And it's Bert.
Holy fucking hell.
Oh my god. Are you serious?
Well, I
What
can't
the
say that
hell?
I'm shocked that you're here, but fuck, it's good to see you.
And he goes, "Sorry I haven't been able to be around as much as previously. But I definitely couldn't let these assholes get in a hand on you. Now I do have one thing I'll need you to help me with." And he's kind of like shuffling around on the guards, and he's like touching their faces and kind of like feeling them for a second, and then kind of moving over to the next one. And he's like, "Okay," and feels another one. And he's like, "So how have you really been holding up here, friend?"
It's been pretty damn rough, man. I've gotten my ass kicked and done absolutely nothing about it for... I've lost track of time.
Well, I gotta say, I'm quite proud of you. We don't want your case to get any worse, because we're fully planning on getting you out of here safe and sound.
Well, that's good news to me, man.
And he picks up another guard and he's feeling his face and he's like, Erebus, did this guy have like a mustache a week ago?
I think so.
Okay. Excellent. Cool. And he gets up and he walks over to the wall and he takes out a book and a piece of chalk. And he starts marking on it. And he puts a hand on it and it lights up and he goes over and grabs the guard and throws him through the doorway and then erases the chalk markings. And he comes back over and grabs his helmet and puts it on and presses it and it's that guard's face. And he grabs some clothes, puts them on and stuff, and he lays on the ground for a second. And he's just like, so what do you plan on doing when you get out of here?
You know, I haven't figured that out yet, but I think I've got a lot of things I need to fix and a lot of research I need to do.
And Bert says, yeah, believe it or not, I know that feeling.
Where have you been?
And he goes, well, really just kind of finding myself. And he kind of like crosses his legs and folds his fingers over his chest as he's laying around all these unconscious guards. And he's like, I've been really finding myself, you know? I think
I
there's...
can see that.
Yeah. It's like there's a lot I need to atone for and be careful about who I am choosing to engage with. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. One of the guards kind of stirs and starts like lifting up, holding his head, and Bert just goes like still on the ground. And the guy kind of stands up and he's like, what the fuck was that? And he's like, hey, and starts like shaking the other guards as they're getting up and they're like, and he's like, hey, what's going on? And they're like, did he get out of the cell and stuff? And then you see Bert kind of raise up and he's like, I think it was the old man. I thought I saw him in the last second take off up the stairs. I don't know. I think he's got a way out of here. And they're all like, oh, God. All right, let's go get him. And they all kind of get up and Bert kind of lags behind. And he just kind of gives you a little salute and then goes up the stairs.
I can't believe you. So good.
Jasper.